My beloved child, listen carefully. If you trust in God, type Amen. This is a very important message for you today. Do not ignore it. Pay attention to this message. This is the voice of the Lord your God. There are moments in your life where time feels different, where it slows down, where something invisible touches your heart, where a message reaches your spirit before your mind even understands it. And this is one of those moments, not just another post, not just another thing you scroll past. This is a divine interruption. Heaven has been knocking gently again and again, hoping you would pause just long enough to hear what your soul has been starving for. Because God has not stopped trying to reach you. He's been sending signs in whispers, in delays, in dreams, in people's words, but your heart has been too overwhelmed to recognize it. And now, in these final 45 minutes, He speaks again with urgency, with grace, with love that refuses to leave you alone. You have not been forgotten. You are not lost in the crowd. You are not overlooked or ignored. Even when people forget your worth, heaven does not. Even when others walk away, God walks closer. Even when you stop praying, He never stops listening. He's watched you carry so much pain in silence, pretending to be okay when you've been fighting battles that nobody knew about. And if your heart feels this message right now, if something inside you is stirring, don't stay silent, let faith speak through your fingers. Type Amen 777. Because beloved, this is not where your story ends. This is not the chapter of defeat. This is the chapter where heaven invades your ordinary day and rewrites your atmosphere. This is where the breakthrough begins, not with noise, but with presence. Not with effort, but with surrender. Archangel Michael is not here to frighten you. He's not here to force anything. He's here because heaven sent him on assignment for you. Because something in your life is about to shift so suddenly, so unexpectedly, that if your heart is not prepared, you may miss the miracle meant for your name. And heaven cannot allow that. Michael has stood guard over your life when you didn't even know you were under attack. He has cried over your delays. He has whispered into your dreams. And now He's standing still beside you, waiting for your heart to say yes. Because when you say yes, everything changes. Yes opens the floodgates. Yes unlocks the timing. Yes invites heaven into places you've hidden for years. God's voice isn't coming through fear. It's coming through invitation. He's saying, please don't skip this. Don't scroll away. I'm not asking for a lifetime. I'm asking for this moment, these 3 minutes, this breath, this yes, because what I'm about to do in your life will surprise you in ways you never imagined. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. You're not forgotten. I've been preparing something behind the scenes while you've been surviving. And now the wait is over. But I need your heart to pause. I need your spirit to feel again. I need your soul to say, God, I'm listening, because I've been speaking all along. You've endured so much, quiet heartbreaks, unnoticed faithfulness, delayed promises. But God says none of it was wasted. Every tear watered the seed. Every prayer, even the ones you thought were unanswered, was a piece of the foundation. And now the rain is coming. Now the ground is breaking. Now the time is here. And that thing you thought would never come. That shift you've been waiting for. That door that's been locked for years, it's about to open so suddenly, that you'll look back and realize it was never denial. It was divine alignment. Michael remains by your side, not rushing you, not scaring you, but holding the message heaven has written just for you. And if you open your heart fully in this moment, everything changes, the weight lifts, the fear fades, the clarity comes, and most importantly, the distance between you and your miracle disappears. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. You're not missing out. You're being moved forward. You're not unlucky. You're unfolding. And beloved, you are unfolding exactly on time. Sometimes the most powerful shifts in your life begin in silence. Not with thunder, not with a crowd, but with that still moment when you finally feel seen. You've spent so much time being strong for others, hiding your storms behind smiles, burying your disappointments in quiet corners of your soul. And yet, even in that hiding, God was near. Not watching from afar, but sitting with you. He saw what no one else noticed. The way you kept going when it would have been easier to give up, the way you kept loving when your own heart was running on empty. And if you receive this, if you believe heaven is speaking your name right now, seal it with faith. Type Amen 639. And now heaven whispers. You've done enough. Now let me carry the next part. You've never been forgotten. You've never been passed over. What felt like delay was actually divine refinement, because what's being birthed through you is not ordinary. You're not being prepared for common blessings. You're being shaped for miraculous ones, and miracles take time. Not because God is slow, but because what He's building in you is eternal. He's not just blessing your hands, He's healing your heart. He's not just giving you breakthrough, He's restoring your foundation. That's why it's taken longer. That's why you've had to cry through closed doors. Because God was removing everything that wasn't meant to go with you into the next season. Archangel Michael has been circling your name again and again in the divine realms. Not to warn, but to protect, to preserve, to clear the air around your spirit. Because something holy is about to rise in your life. And heaven cannot afford for you to miss it. You are not being left behind. You're being elevated behind the scenes. While others chase spotlight, God has hidden you for something greater. You've been in the shadow not as punishment, but as protection, because your light is not for moments, it's for movements. What you carry is not small. What's inside you is not delayed. It's timed for impact. And if your spirit feels stirred right now, if your heart feels seen, don't ignore that nudge. let faith respond in this moment. Type Amen 842. You've heard so many voices in this life. Some that said you're not ready, some that made you feel invisible. But God says, I've been speaking louder than all of them. You just forgot how to trust the sound of my love, and now He's reminding you gently, tenderly, like a parent waking a sleeping child, not with force, but with presence. You are not alone in your ache. You are not crazy for feeling too deeply. That sensitivity you've been ashamed of is actually your spiritual radar. You feel because you were made to see beyond the surface. You break because you carry heaven's burden. You cry because your soul remembers what peace feels like. And you won't settle for anything less. And now, in these final moments before the unexpected arrives, heaven urges you to stay open. Don't shut down again. Don't let your fear lead you. Let your spirit lead. Because deep down, your spirit already knows. It knows the blessing is close. It knows the shift is here. That's why you felt tension. That's why your sleep has been interrupted. That's why certain people have gone silent. Because you're being prepared for something sudden and sacred. Not something chaotic, but something cleansing. Not something that breaks you down, but something that breaks you open. God is not looking for a perfect version of you. He's asking for the present version, the real one, the tired one, the wondering one, the beautiful, messy, hopeful one. And as you read this, a door is being opened that no man can shut. A spiritual alignment is unlocking where delays once lived. Divine surprises are being released, not because you earned them, but because you were faithful even when you had nothing left to give. Heaven has been watching. And now heaven is responding. There is something you need to understand now. Not with your mind, but with your heart. This journey you've been walking was never about punishment. It was about preparation. The silence wasn't abandonment. It was a sacred stillness designed to strengthen you, because God never left. Not when you doubted, not when you cried into your pillow, not when you questioned your purpose. He stayed. And now He speaks softly. Not because He is far away, but because He is so close, closer than your breath, closer than the beating of your own heart. His whisper is not faint. It is intimate. He doesn't want to overwhelm you. He wants to reach you before it's too late. You've been carrying too much alone, smiling while your soul aches, laughing when you really just needed someone to ask if you were okay. But here's the truth. Heaven sees you, you are more resilient than even you believe. And that strength didn't come from people. It came from the Spirit that lives inside of you. That's why you keep surviving what should have broken you. That's why even when your faith feels small, heaven responds with power. God has never required you to be perfect, only to be present. Present enough to say, God, I'm still here. I'm still holding on. I still believe you're working even when I can't see it, and right now, something unexpected is already unfolding. Not in chaos, but in alignment. There is something sacred being sent your way. Something that's been withheld, protected, preserved, until your spirit was mature enough to receive it. The delay wasn't a denial. It was divine strategy. Because some blessings are too heavy to carry with fragile hands. And now that your hands have been shaped by surrender, now that your prayers have turned from noise to intimacy, now that your posture has moved from why me, to use me, heaven has said yes. Archangel Michael has heard the command. He is moving through the unseen realm, to shift the atmosphere over your life, to reposition what was out of place, to remove what no longer belongs near you, and to release what God has kept sealed for you alone. You've grown more than you even realize. You've learned to stop chasing what drains you. And if you receive this promise, if you believe this shift is for you, seal it in faith right now. Type Amen 593. You've learned to stop begging for crumbs. You've stopped watering relationships that didn't feed your spirit. And all of that wasn't wasted. God saw every decision you made in private. He saw when you chose integrity over attention. He saw when you walked away from what glittered and instead waited for what was real. And heaven honors those choices. Heaven always honors what the world overlooks. And if this part of your journey feels familiar, if your heart is nodding quietly right now, pause for a second, let your faith respond in a simple way. Type Amen 814. This is your moment to believe again. Not with hype, not with pressure, but with peace. Because this message is your confirmation. This is your sign. This is not a coincidence. You were led to these words so your heart could finally exhale. So your soul could rest. So your faith could rise. Not based on feelings, but based on truth. You are seen. You are covered. You are aligned. God hasn't just heard your prayers. He has anchored them. He has tied your name to a breakthrough that cannot miss you. He has assigned angels to guard the promise that carries your tears. He has appointed divine timing to deliver what your heart has longed for. Don't rush past this moment. Don't scroll away too quickly. Because something sacred is settling over your life. A shift you can't explain, but you will soon experience. This is your time to let go of trying to figure everything out. This is your invitation to rest in the knowing that heaven is already ahead of you. The sudden change, the unexpected open door, the encounter that will heal your past, it's already been decided. All God needed was your yes. Not a loud yes, just a quiet, surrendered one. And if your heart has whispered it even once, everything is already in motion. There is a reason why you felt restless lately. Why your soul has been stirred by things you can't fully explain. It's not anxiety. It's not coincidence. It's spiritual movement. Your atmosphere has been shifting slowly. And now the realm of heaven is pushing something forward on your behalf. This is why your old patterns are no longer comforting. This is why the familiar suddenly feels foreign, because you are being prepared to step into a new room, a new season, a new divine frequency. And the version of you that survived the wilderness is not the same version God is about to reveal to the world. He is not just changing your story. He's changing your spiritual identity. What was spoken about you in the realm of man is being rewritten in the realm of spirit. They said you were average. They said you were forgotten. They said your time had passed. But heaven says you were hidden for holy reasons. You were covered, not cancelled. You were set apart, not set aside. And Archangel Michael, who stands at the gates of divine justice, has now been cleared to release the scrolls written with your name. These are not new blessings. These are stored promises, blessings that have been kept safe until your spirit was fully ready to carry them. And now that readiness is here, now even the silence is loud with confirmation. You have walked through fire and came out more faithful. You've been betrayed and still chose compassion. You've had doors slammed in your face and still kept your hands open for grace. That is not weakness. That is warfare won in worship. That is strength birthed through surrender. And God took note of every single moment. Not a single second of your pain was wasted. Not a single tear went unseen. They've all been bottled in heaven. And now those bottles are being poured out like holy oil. This is what favor feels like. Not fame, not applause, but peace that follows obedience. You thought you were being delayed. But the truth is, you were being delayed from things that didn't deserve your presence. That relationship you cried over, heaven removed it not to harm you, but to honor you. That opportunity you lost, it wasn't your rejection. It was God's redirection. Because what's coming next has your name on it. And it requires your full soul, not a distracted one. That's why certain things crumbled. That's why certain people couldn't stay. Because you are being aligned, not just with a new season, but with your true assignment. And now, in these final minutes, heaven is once again trying to reach your spirit. Not to scare you, not to shame you, but to strengthen you. You've been walking with your head down for too long. You've been minimizing your light so others feel comfortable. But now God is saying, lift your eyes. I'm doing a new thing, and it has your name sealed into it. You will not miss it. You will not be late. You will not be denied. You will not be overlooked. What's for you has been preserved like a sealed letter, waiting for the exact moment to be opened. And that moment is now. So rest, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is already planned. Trust, not because you understand the process, but because heaven knows the purpose. This isn't a coincidence. This is divine collision, where your faith meets the timing of God, and your obedience meets the opening of heaven. Michael is here. God is here. And the door in front of you is not just opportunity. It's inheritance. And if your spirit receives this promise, if your heart feels peace settling right now, seal it with faith. Type Amen 926. There is a tenderness in heaven right now, with your name in it. A silence that is not empty, but pregnant with a promise. A stillness that does not mean God is absent, but that He is watching closely, waiting for the moment your heart becomes fully open to what He's been preparing for years. Because this is not just a shift in your day. It is a shift in your timeline. Everything that's been misaligned, delayed, stolen, or silenced, is being realigned. Not through your effort, but through your yes. You have no idea what is being loosed in the spiritual realm, simply because your spirit didn't give up. Your name is known in heaven. You are not a number to God. You are not background noise. You are beloved, and Archangel Michael has not been waiting near you just to deliver a message. He's been surrounding you like a shield, covering your mind when the lies of the world tried to pierce it, hiding you in plain sight when the enemy tried to accuse you, positioning angels on your behalf when people tried to push you out of your destiny. And if something in your chest feels heavy yet hopeful right now, if you sense this isn't random, pause for a breath, let faith answer softly. Type Amen 451. And today, something sacred has been unsealed. A spiritual notification has gone out from the throne. Release what was kept for them. Release what has been written. It's time. You've walked with doubt, not because you lack faith, but because you've been stretched for so long without clarity. But beloved, clarity is coming, not from people, but from the presence of God. He's not just going to change what's around you. He's going to transform what's within you. This isn't just about one answered prayer. This is about a divine rebirth, a reawakening of everything holy that life tried to bury beneath disappointment. And as you open yourself to receive this word, heaven is peeling back layers of shame, regret, and pressure, so you can stand as the original version of you, the one He always knew, always loved, always chose. It's not too late. You haven't missed it. The delay wasn't your fault. The confusion wasn't your failure. You were walking through divine training, and heaven was silent because God was teaching you how to recognize His voice above every other. He didn't leave you. He was speaking in different ways, in the wait, in the ache, in the wrestle. And now that voice is thundering in the quiet parts of your soul. Come forward. It's time. You're ready. You're chosen. You're seen. You do not have to beg anymore. What's for you is not earned by perfection. It's received through surrender. Let your tears fall. Let your shoulders drop. Let your spirit sit down in the peace that is now wrapping around your name like a soft robe after a storm. You fought hard, but now you're being favored harder. You've loved others deeply, but now God is about to love you visibly. The things you gave quietly are returning to you loudly. And the door that opens next will not require you to explain yourself to anyone. It will carry God's signature. It will carry undeniable favor. And the people who counted you out will have to watch you walk through that door, not with pride, but with peace. Archangel Michael is still here. Heaven is still watching. But now they are waiting for your next step. Will you believe? Will you stop skipping the messages meant for your breakthrough? Will you allow your heart to believe it's your time now? Because nothing can stop what God has set in motion. But you can delay it by doubting your own worth. And heaven is begging you, don't hurt yourself by shrinking. Don't ignore the call on your life because of past pain. This is not that. This is new. This is holy. This is yours. There is something sacred unfolding around you even now, even if you don't see it yet. A spiritual rearrangement is in motion. What once felt like delay is actually a delicate choreography. God moving pieces, hearts, timings, and openings into place just for you. While the world rushes and pressures you to perform, heaven invites you to pause and listen. Not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Because what you are about to receive is not earned through your hustle. It's released through your willingness to trust. The kind of trust that doesn't make sense in the natural. The kind of trust that makes you stand still, even when everything around you says to panic. And if you've ever wondered why the road has been so long, why the silence has stretched so wide, why you've been tested in places no one even knows about, it's because what you carry is not light. What you carry is legacy. God has entrusted you with a blueprint, a purpose, a spiritual DNA that carries healing, restoration, generational change. That's why the warfare has been heavy. That's why the opposition has been loud. Because your presence on this earth is evidence that heaven is still speaking. You're not random. You're not forgotten. You're not too late. You're not left behind. You are rising, right on time. Archangel Michael is still near, closer than ever. Not only as a messenger, but as a guardian. And if your spirit receives this truth, if you choose to believe without fear, seal it now. Type Amen 908. He is shielding your name in places where your feet haven't even entered yet. He is clearing spiritual static so that your soul can hear God clearly again. He is lifting heaviness off your chest so you can breathe deeply without the burden. And more than anything, He is preparing the path for your divine reveal. Not for attention, not for applause, but for divine placement. Because heaven is placing you into rooms, into relationships, into assignments, that will restore what was stolen, not just in your life, but in the lives of those connected to your obedience. There are people who hurt you and thought it would break you. There were seasons that tried to crush you and thought you'd never rise again. But God has been breaking the soil open. And if something inside you feels stirred right now, if your spirit feels this isn't random, pause here for a moment, let faith speak quietly. Type Amen 362. Tell them their moment is here. This is not just inspiration. This is intercession. The Spirit is groaning for you. The heavens are preparing for you, and every force that stood against you will have no choice but to watch you rise. Not in pride, but in peace. Not in ego, but in elevation. Because what's coming next has God's fingerprint, and your name on it. This isn't about hype. This isn't about spiritual noise. This is about divine remembrance. Heaven never forgot you. God never deleted your promise. He simply waited for your heart to be still enough to receive it. And now that stillness has come. Now your walls are lowering. Now your spirit is listening. And in this listening, healing is rising. Restoration is coming. Divine justice is awakening. And God is saying, I haven't changed my mind about you. The plans I have for you are still alive. The dreams I placed in you are still breathing. And now I am doing something suddenly, not because of their timeline, but because of mine, so don't rush past this. Let these words sink into the deepest places. Let your soul drink them in. Let your heart finally believe again. You don't have to chase it. You only have to receive it. And once you do, you'll realize this was never just a message. This was a divine moment, crafted before time began, written into your timeline, spoken over you by the voice that first called your name. Your soul has been whispering for answers, asking questions the world cannot hear, crying tears that never reached your voice. And still, God listened. Not to the words you couldn't speak, but to the wounds that needed healing. You didn't have to say it out loud. Heaven has always been tuned into the sound of your heart. Even in the moments when you believed you were too broken to pray, even in the seasons where your silence was louder than any shout. God stayed. Not watching from a distance, but sitting beside you in the unseen, speaking in dreams, hiding promises in small moments, preserving joy for a future you didn't know was still being written. And now that future is no longer far. It's not coming years from now. It's unfolding now. The clock of heaven does not tick like Earth's time. When God says now, it doesn't mean chaos. It means alignment. It means everything that was once delayed, has now found its rightful rhythm. And you, dear soul, are standing in the middle of a divine intersection. You didn't arrive here by accident. You were carried here by grace. You were protected by mercy. And you were anointed with endurance, not because you were the strongest, but because you refused to quit even when your strength was gone. And God has honored that. Heaven has remembered your name. Archangel Michael has remained near, not just with wings of war, but with hands of comfort. He's seen your frustration when nothing made sense. He's heard your whispers in the dark. And now he is releasing what's been sealed. Scrolls of destiny, keys of access, instructions for breakthrough. The message was hidden because the moment wasn't ready. But now the moment is here. This moment is ripe. This is the divine hour, where clarity will replace confusion, where closure will silence the chaos, where sudden shifts will open doors you didn't even know existed. And it will not happen because you forced it. It will happen because God favored it. You were called for this, not for fear, not for failure, not for just surviving one hard season after another. You were called for the miraculous, for restoration, for redemption, for abundance that overflows in places where you once experienced emptiness. You are not just a name in the crowd. You are a soul heaven chose. God is gathering everything they thought they buried. He's been watering the soil of your pain. He's been speaking to the roots of your disappointment. And now those same places are turning into gardens of glory. You will bloom from what tried to bury you. You will rise from what tried to ruin you. You will sing from what once made you silent. Because when God rewrites a story, even the ashes are anointed. This moment right here is not just a scroll. It's a scroll from heaven. It is not digital. It's divine. It's not noise. It's now. Your heart wasn't drawn here by accident. And if you receive this, if you choose to believe without shrinking, seal it in faith right now. Type Amen 781. This is a divine tap on your shoulder, from the one who still sees you when no one else checks in. This is God saying, "Daughter, son, I've been waiting to speak to you, not to scold you, to hold you, not to rush you, to realign you, not to hurt you, but to heal you, and the healing that is coming next is not shallow. It's going to the places no one's ever touched, the places you've hidden, even from yourself. Heaven is proud of you. Even when you didn't feel strong, you kept standing. Even when you were tired, you kept waking up. Even when you didn't feel holy, your soul kept whispering prayers through tears. And those prayers have not been ignored. They have been recorded. They have been honored. They have been answered. And if your heart feels this truth right now, if something inside you is softening, don't rush past it, let faith respond gently. Type Amen 684. And now the answers are arriving, not just in events, but in encounters. You are about to experience a version of God that your pain has never met before. One that doesn't just fix the problem, but restores the soul. You've been holding your breath for far too long, waiting for the moment when life would finally make sense again. Waiting for the storm to pass, for the pain to subside, for the door to open, for the answer to arrive. And now heaven is exhaling over you. Not as a response to your perfection, but as a reward for your endurance. God never asked you to have it all figured out. He never needed your strategy. He only needed your surrender. He only needed your yes. And even when your faith was small, your yes remained. Even when your voice trembled, your spirit stayed open. And now that quiet, shaky, exhausted yes, is becoming the reason heaven is moving on your behalf. You were not skipped. You were shielded. You were not abandoned. You were hidden. Hidden from distractions, from the wrong hands, from places that would have damaged what God was building in you. You were not late. You were preserved. Because the version of you that is about to emerge is not the one that was wounded. It is the one that was refined by fire. What broke others couldn't break you, because grace has been your covering. Favor has been your weapon. And Archangel Michael has stood like a wall between you and what was trying to steal your future. What you thought was unanswered prayer was actually unseen protection. And now it is your turn. The atmosphere has changed. The spiritual winds have shifted. And in the realm you cannot see, your name has been whispered in rooms of breakthrough. Something is coming. Not from a person, not from your effort, but straight from the throne room. And when it arrives, you will understand why the warfare was so intense, why the delays were so persistent, why your heart was pulled in so many directions. Because this blessing is not just for survival, it is for transformation. It is going to shift your entire landscape. It will turn your almost gave up into thank God I stayed. Heaven has been pacing around your name. The angels have not left your side. And Michael's message is clear. Tell them to stop skipping the voice of God. Tell them their obedience is unlocking inheritance. Tell them their tears are known by the Creator Himself. That's why you've been feeling something stir. That's why your spirit is restless, even while your body feels tired, because heaven is getting louder. The time of hiding is ending. The season of manifestation is beginning. This message is the confirmation you were too afraid to ask for. The love letter you needed when all you received was silence. The miracle of timing that proves you haven't been forgotten. It's not too late. You haven't missed the turn. You haven't lost the promise. You're right on the edge. And heaven is cheering. The angels are positioned. The blessing is already moving. And all that's left is your yes. Not a loud yes, just a surrendered one. The kind that says, God, I trust you even when I don't understand. I believe you even when I can't see. I receive this, not because I earned it, but because you are faithful, so breathe. Let the tears fall. Let the weight lift. Let the past fall off your shoulders like leaves that no longer belong to this season. And step forward, not in fear, in faith. Because what's behind you cannot compare to what's rising ahead. This is not the end. It's not even the beginning. This is the release. The moment God opens what man could never touch, the second heaven says now. And nothing will ever be the same again. And if you believe this word is for you, if your spirit chooses trust over fear, seal it now. Type Amen 941.